We are continuing to follow breaking news in Leslie this morning after a massive fire at the ISC plating facility that we know crews put out earlier, but it has since reignited that fire. So we're going to send it right over to Jon Adamy, who's live on the scene with the latest. John.
Siobhan, good morning to you once again. Let me catch you up to speed on what's happening right here now live in Leslie. Take a look behind me at what's left of the ISC plating plant here in Leslie. Last night, about 10 hours ago, around 8 o'clock p.m., fire tore through a wing of this building, almost reaching some hazardous materials. Families were evacuated. Others were told to shelter in place. If you can believe it, about 15 minutes ago, we were standing right where those crews are now, even a little bit closer. That's because until then, officials believed the fire was completely out. Then, quite literally, out of nowhere, fire began again in that rubble, sending smoke into the sky and sending fire crews rushing back to the scene. We were told earlier this morning that families would be being let back into their homes throughout the day. No word yet on what this flare-up is going to do for that situation. Taking a look here, we're being told that the families who are evacuated are being held in the Leslie Elementary School. Like I said, no word yet. Obviously, the hazardous material in there, we were evacuated to this point due to the smoke, the danger there with the hazardous material. We're going to continue to keep you updated on this situation as we learn more. For now, let's send it back to you.
All right, John, thank you very, very much for that report. We are following breaking news this morning in Leslie. A massive fire at the ISC plating facility in the area of Bellevue and Culver Streets that crews put out earlier this morning. It has reignited once again. So we're going to send it right over to Jon Adamy, who's live on the scene with the very latest. John.
Siobhan, good morning again. I'm live here in Leslie where the sun is just starting to come up, shining a better light. You can take a look here on what's left of the ISC plating plant here in Leslie. Behind me, about 15 minutes ago, we were actually standing right near that debris. That's because fire crews were telling us that the flames were actually completely out. Since that time, it's been an active situation here, although things are relatively quiet now. Crews came back out to the scene, rushed in. We were evacuated back to this point. They put out a small fire that restarted in that rubble. It didn't take them very long, but now they're back evacuating the scene back even farther. This is the closest we're going to be for the rest of the morning. We're actually going to have to move back here because what they're going to do next is bring in some trucks from the Environmental Protection Agency. These semi-trailers are going to move in right to where we are now and begin to unload some of this potentially hazardous debris back into those trucks. No word yet on how this is going to affect the timetable for these families who are staying in Leslie Elementary School to get back into their homes. They were evacuated last night when the smoke started to move towards their homes. We'll keep you updated with the very latest on when they're going to be let in. For now, back to you.
In this update out of Leslie, crews from the Environmental Protection Agency are headed to what's left of the ISC plating facility, which is near the area of Bellevue and Culver Streets. Just as crews thought their battle with the fire was over, it sparked again this morning, and Jon Adamy was on scene when it happened. He joins us live now with an update. John.
Siobhan, good morning again. Obviously, here as the day breaks, it's a much quieter scene here in Leslie than it was overnight last night. The fire started around 8 o'clock last night. As you can see back here, things have really calmed down. But if you can believe it, things have actually calmed down even from just about 2 hours ago. Some flames sparked up around that time. Crews rushed to the scene. They since put those flames out. But if you look at some video that we shot overnight last night, you can see huge flames shot into the sky as fire and hazmat crews work to contain that fire in the ISC plating plant. The building is a total loss, but crews were able to keep some of the hazardous material inside the plant from going up in those flames. The concern over the possibility of that hazardous material getting mixed in with that smoke led to the evacuation of some nearby homes. As we told you, we were actually evacuated. We were standing near that scene about 2 hours ago. We were evacuated back to this point when that fire sparked up once again. The latest word we're hearing is that environmental crews from the Environmental Protection Agency are on their way with semi-trucks right now to begin loading in some of that hazardous material. No word yet on how that is going to affect the timetable for people who are evacuated to get back into their homes here. We'll keep you updated live in Leslie. Jon Adamy, 6 News.
Let's check in one more time with Jon Adamy, who's been live all morning outside of what's left of the ISC plating plant in Leslie in the area of Culvert and Bellevue roads. And the business fire there has kept firefighters on their toes for hours. Jon, this wasn't just a fire, though. There were some serious chemical concerns as well.
Yeah, that's right, Siobhan. The focus of the cleanup effort here is really turned to that hazardous material. If you take a look behind me, you can actually see a hazardous material response unit is here on the scene. A few hours ago, we, along with that same truck, were actually closer to what's left of the ISC plating facility there, but we were actually evacuated along with that truck when more flames sparked up inside the debris. Crews have since been brought back in. They're going to begin the process of cleaning up that hazardous material. We're told the Environmental Protection Agency is going to be bringing some trucks to take away the rest of that hazardous material. No word yet on how this is going to play out and affect bringing people back in who were evacuated from their homes overnight last night. We're going to continue to keep you updated on air and online. Until then, in Leslie, Jon Adamy, 6 News.